And Ticket listeners, you can get $150 off the cost of enrollment. Head to theticketfm.com and click on the banner on the homepage to learn more. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaving at 70th and Vine or 40th and Yankee Hill.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports, for yourself and your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, call 988 for free, confidential, and compassionate support. On July 16th, the National Suicide Prevention Life is transitioning to 988. There is hope. For 24/7 support, call, text, or chat 988.
Nebraska DHHS aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Junior Achievement of Lincoln inspires and prepares young people for success. Learn the people involved in the organization and the success stories over the years each Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. for the Junior Achievement Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Gather round. This is the Ticket Water Cooler.
This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game.
Coming at you live in the heart of Lincoln, America.
I say, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
On air and online at theticketfm.com. Here are your hosts. Chocolate.
We are back here on the Ticket Water Cooler in a busy week, a busy month in recruiting. So we are excited to have a loaded recruiting show today. We'll have Brian Munson join us here around 12:30. If you're listening on our traditional radio airwaves, first of all, thank you. Keep that going. Keep that going in your car. If you still have radios in your cars, or maybe you bring the old radio outside and do some yard work. But it's probably through your phone. Right?
Get that big old radio. Get your little handheld radio.
Yeah, those were nice. I really do miss. I had this big CD player, like boombox thing, back when I was younger, and I wish I would have kept that. There's a lot of stuff I wish I would just held on to, and then I would have listened to 93.7 The Ticket on it, but I don't think I ever did, because that was predates 93.7 The Ticket even. But in any case, the Ticket Water Cooler, sponsored by Guardians of Freedom Air Show. It's coming to Lincoln's Air Park August 26th and 27th. More details at LincolnAirShow.com. So thanks to them for sponsoring us as well. But as I was saying, the Royals will be starting their day game here. At least the broadcast will start at 12:30. Therefore, you will have to join us if you want to listen to us instead of the Royals. You could listen to us in a variety of ways. You can watch our live stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, or an Allo channel 951. So thanks to you guys for joining us. Lots to break down here today. Good news, bad news type of situation in Husker recruiting today. Bad news, Caleb Pyfrom, in-state offensive lineman, highest ranked in-state offensive lineman, commits to Brett Bielema in Illinois. We'll kind of see how that plays out, or kind of maybe see if there's any change. I know Rashawn's hoping for down the line, maybe something can maneuver to get him in the class, but you never know. As we know, another guy by the name of Daniel Kalin was previously committed to another institution, ends up coming to Nebraska. So maybe that story's not over, but as of right now, Caleb Pyfrom committing to Illinois. I suppose my thoughts along there is, it's a pretty good offer. I mean, Brett Bielema's a heck of a guy as far as producing offensive line talent. If you remember, they had Chase Brown last year, one of the nation's leaders in rushing. For much of the year, I think he finished fourth or something like that. I can't remember if he didn't play in the bowl game. I can't remember what happened, but in any case, he was one of the nation's leaders in rushing. So it's a choice that makes sense among the offensive linemen. I don't know if that's what it came down to. I do know, as I've been saying for years, if you are an in-state offensive lineman and you have an offer from a Brett Bielema or, traditionally Wisconsin, Iowa's kind of struggled the last couple of years with producing talent, but outside of just loyalty to Nebraska because you were born in Nebraska and love the Huskers, and which isn't the case with every kid, it might make sense as an offensive lineman to go to one of these programs that is producing big-time offensive line talent. So maybe that's something that factored in. Caleb
No
Pfeiffer's
disrespect to Nebraska or Donovan Raiola, but if you look at Nebraska's, and I know, you have the track record of Nebraska offensive linemen at Nebraska not doing very well, and then for some reason getting to the NFL and actually doing something,
well, yeah.
Being starters or having roles cut out for them in the NFL. You look at a Brett Bielema and what he's been able to produce when he was at Wisconsin, and how Illinois plays football. The offensive linemen are going to get a lot of work in. And again, no disrespect to Donovan Raiola, but you heard all of the criticism against the offensive line last season, and the criticism before the season even starts about how much better, and I guess it's not criticism, it's just how much better the offensive line needs to be this season for Nebraska to have a more successful season. And maybe you don't want to have to deal with that criticism, or maybe you're looking at Brett Bielema and saying, what he's been able to do with offensive linemen and the way that Illinois plays. It's more interesting. It's more what's the word I'm looking for? It's he's drawn to that more than he's drawn to Nebraska. So I don't blame the kid. Do what's best for you. Maybe Nebraska will be able to flip him down the line, but Caleb Pfeiffer heading to Illinois, I got nothing else for it. I mean, it's a good get for Illinois. It's a good school, good choice for him. I hope he does well. I guess we'll see how his senior season goes at Central.
Yeah, and it's interesting too. I think the updated state rankings are out for 24/7 Sports. Daniel Kaelin, by the way, the good news was Daniel Kaelin got a 4th star, so congratulations to him. First 4-star quarterback since who in the recruiting class? What do you think? Since how long ago?
Adrian was a 4-star.
Yeah.
There was somebody in between there. Luke was a 3-star. Who else?
I like how you're processing it since Adrian.
Yeah, because Adrian, it's Adrian.
Yeah,
so it's Adrian, but there's people in between there.
Yep.
There was Luke. There was
guys transfer in and out now, so that's hard.
Do the transfers count?
Transfers not count. I'm talking
transfers don't count. Okay, so it's freshmen.
Yeah, freshman class.
Was Logan a 4? No, Logan was a 3-star.
Logan Smothers, according to 24/7,
4-star.
was a 4-star.
There we go.
So there you go. Your guy, Logan Smothers.
My guy, Low Smo.
But in the updated rankings, it's kind of funny.
See that? I process of elimination.
Yeah, you did a good job there.
Thank you.
But in the updated rankings, so this morning, Caleb Pfeiffer was the number 5, and now he's moved back to number 7 after committing to Illinois.
How dare you? That's how it works.
24/7 apparently he likes Nebraska.
You're going somewhere else? Psych.
You're down. Ashton Murphy is now better than Caleb Pfeiffer, at least according to the updated rankings. Updated rankings are always fun.
That's how it works.
But Daniel Kaelin, by the way, jumping over Davon Hall, we talk about Daniel Kaelin getting his 4-star. Davon Hall actually, maybe this is with the Nebraska commit, down to a 3-star.
Isaiah McMorris down to a 3-star.
Isaiah McMorris was a 3-star.
Oh, Dave, on mine it still says Davon's a 4-star. It has Carter Nelson, Davon Hall, Daniel Kaelin are the top 3.
24/7?
Yes, it had Isaiah McMorris was above Daniel Kaelin before, because it went Nelson, Hall, McMorris, Kaelin, but now it's Nelson, Hall, Kaelin, McMorris, and I have Caleb Pfeiffer at 5 on this one, and it has the commitment.
See,
to Illinois.
that was this morning. Refresh it real quick.
Refresh it. I just opened it.
You just opened it. Yeah. See, I just not too long
still
ago,
has
I was
it.
looking the same thing.
Maybe you need to refresh yours.
Well, mine has Daniel Kaelin as a 4-star. Does yours have Daniel Kaelin as a 4-star?
It does not. It has him as a 3-star, but I did see that he had a fourth star.
Yeah, that's right. Mine's updated.
I don't know what's going on. What? I just opened it. Okay.
Maybe desktop didn't refresh as quickly.
No.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the composite.
Okay. Yeah.
Just so according to just 24/7. So if I just go to that, if it's just theirs,
that's right,
and not the composite, you are correct. And Daniel Kaelin is number 2, and Pfeiffer is down to 7.
So we differ. I prefer just 24/7. You like composite.
I like the composite because it takes 24/7, Rivals, ESPN, who sucks at ranking, and there's like another one or two in there that they take, and they put it all together, and that's how they have it. Because on just 24/7, Carter Nelson's the 40th ranked player in the nation, whereas on the composite, he's 96. So I guess if you want to feel better about yourself, or if you want to feel better about Nebraska's recruiting, you just go to the top 24/7.
Well, it depends. If you want to feel better about Davon Hall, I guess you go to composite. But if you want to feel better about Daniel Kalen, you just stick with 24/7 or Carter Nelson.
That is true.
Confusing.
Very confusing.
But I think that's probably appropriate for what these recruiting rankings are to begin with, which is basically they're kind of in this area. We don't really know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, Kalen's 4th star is based off of his camp season, which is what a lot of the stars are based off of.
Oh, yeah.
It's not based off of your school season, because the people that are watching this aren't actually going to go through and watch everybody's film and do that, but it's based off the camp season. You have people at different camps like, well, this dude was very athletic. He ran a 40. He had this broad jump and high jump. And he was just smoking people out on the practice field. They're like, well, that's another star.
What is interesting, too,
Daniel Kalen's Elite 11 performance and being named an Elite 11 finalist and part of the Elite 11, that is the reason why he got that 4th star.
But is that what you would like, or would you like a ranking of like how well these guys did in high school when they're competing against different levels?
Exactly. I don't know. I don't know how it goes.
That's really tough
because they take a part of it from the high school films and who they're competing against, and then the other part of it is from the camps. So it's confusing. You just have to make your own determinations when when Nebraska gets to commit. You just go watch the film, make your own determinations. Don't trust the star process. Make your own stars. And don't say everybody's a 5-star, because not everybody's a 5-star.
Really hard to get a 5-star.
Yeah, come on, figure it out.
But it is. Congratulations to Daniel Kalen.
Yeah.
It is a big honor to get a 4-star, and I'm sure he felt like he's worked his way up to that. So
I'm just saying, if he's Elite 11, he shouldn't be the 15th best at his position according to 24/7.
Yeah, should be 11.
He should be 11
at least.
Yeah, at the very least. And Julian Sayin, who won the Elite 11 camp, should be number 1 over Dylan Raiola. I don't make the rules. I just follow them.
That's how much you love the Elite 11.
The Elite 11. It's never been wrong, which is exactly what I've been saying the whole time.
All right, we'll be back on stream with Brian Munson to break some of this latest recruiting stuff down. Otherwise, Royals coming up next year on the airwaves. Either way, you're listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sport is quality, slightly to gently used equipment. 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment, and it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. So they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 40 and Vine.
Summertime is in full swing, and it's time to get to work on projects. Actually, is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything. He has everything you build the dreams, from treated to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. They offer advice from real deck professionals to give you proper guidance to make your project go smoothly. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or visit their new location just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway. Deck City, your local deck experts.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansion of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to favorite beer, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall to Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
Street
Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company in Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Guys, it's that time again. Another 10-week challenge at Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping is starting on July 8th. I joined Farrell's a little over a year ago, and with their help, I've lost over 125 pounds and can confidently say I'm in the best shape of my life. The 10-week challenge combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching in a way that is approachable and achievable for any skill level. And ticket listeners, you can get $150 off the cost of enrollment. Head to theticketfm.com and click on the banner on the homepage to learn more. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 70th and Vine or 40th in Yankee Hill.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Scattered thunderstorms will be a possibility this morning, and a few of those storms could become severe. We'll reach up to a high this afternoon around 92, northeast winds at 10 to 15. Scattered thunderstorms, again, a possibility overnight with low down for around 67. Still fairly warm tomorrow, and that continued chance of showers and storms with a high of 87. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ticket water cooler on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are grooving here on a Thursday, I believe. I don't know what day it is. I think it's Thursday. Actually, I know it's Thursday because we have a tradition here on a Thursday. We bring in Brian Munson of Husker Online to get us up to date on the latest in Husker recruiting. And, you know, sometimes there's not a whole lot to talk about. It seems like it's been kind of a busy month. Brian, has it been a bit of a busy month for you this month?
Incredibly. I mean, even with the dead period being here, we're still just hammering away with news and recruiting kind of forecasts and predictions. And I honestly don't think it's going to slow down until probably about the time 4th of July comes around.
Oh, man.
America's been around since...
Oops, sorry about that. And also, yeah, that's a
It happens to the best of us.
And even to me, who is not one of the best of us, but I'm still here. But in any case, do you... I just first of all, just kind of wondered, I think they have 14 commits this month. Do you remember a month like this? And if so, is it... I mean, is June that month? Or has Nebraska had, like, busy Junes before? I just... to me, just trying to think about it, that's a lot of commits in 1 month.
Well, and so Sean Callahan and I and Steve Sipple, we were kind of talking about this as they were on their way out to Ainsworth, a couple of days ago before Carter announced his commitment yesterday. And they were like, so do you, like, is this like a typical thing? I said, well, look, I go, you really had the start of like the earlier signing period in December, about 5, 6, 7 years ago where, things have started to kind of continued to move left, and then you started to pick up those earlier visits, in the summertime, and then basically what happened is that schools were kind of treating the month of June as like the big official visit month. Schools were trying to be like 85, 90, 95% of the way complete with their class by the time, middle of July to end of July kind of came around. And then you were kind of doing like the finishing touches. You kind of had, you'd bring in some guys that maybe, were in-state kids and, maybe some guys that had committed earlier on and couldn't visit during the month of June. Like Willis McGahee, he kind of fits that bill a little bit. And Nebraska knows about a couple of guys potentially that'll visit in the month of September. But realistically, this has been a trend, that goes back now a couple, 3 years where schools are trying to wrap up, recruiting by the earliest month of June, probably more like the month of July, and 80, 85, 90% of the schools then are have those, or those schools then will have 85, 99% of their classes already done, and then they can get focused on fall camp. And really, and look, recruiting now, recruiting means not just going after guys that are currently in high school or junior college or whatever. There's also like recruiting retention, and you have to re-recruit your own roster. So there's definitely some things that are changing and evolving every single year. But I think that this is the busiest month. I think that this is absolutely the most commitments that Nebraska's ever had by this point, ever. And they may not be done necessarily. There's a commitment, announcement tonight. I think that there's a couple guys that we could bring up, that will be announcing commitments here in the next week or so. This class has gone from maybe what I thought would be like 18, maybe 19 guys, not getting to 20. We're at 21 now, I think. So look, I think that, there's a lot of things that are continually evolving here, even as like we're going through this year itself.
Well, just with the final statement too, I was kind of wondering and kind of thought about this earlier, because if they do add a few more, you just start to wonder. We thought that the kind of over-signing thing was a year one thing. Does it look like that will continue? Or, do you expect Nebraska to finish with like 25, 26 guys in this class?
I think what you're going to see, and it may be what like Matt Rule kind of easing into that more comfortable chair that he, commented about that before, like in that February timeframe. We won't do this again. This is a year one thing. We're doing a stopgap thing, whatever. Well, here you are. It's June 29th. You're at 21 commitments. You probably stand to get a couple, 3 more. I think what you're going to start seeing more and more around the country is our schools going to 25, and then just understanding that that gets you to 100 over a 4-year deal, and your scholarship cap is at 85. You would then lose somewhere between 3 to 4 players, more like 4 players every single year, to either some sort of medical retirement, transferring out, etc. That should kind of be the built-in attrition that people should kind of expect from year to year to year. What this doesn't do, and what this doesn't really then capture, is it doesn't really kind of lend itself then to the portal transfers. So you still have another number that you have to kind of manage, that goes directly to the 85. Now, and the 25 kind of more now is a more insignificant number. So really, what you should do is you should really just say to yourself, you're really going towards that 85 number. And you kind of anticipate that number is about 25 players per year for both the signing class and the portal transfer group, and then kind of anticipate you have that 3 to 4 to 5 guys on an annual basis that will be finding your way off of your roster, off that 85 list.
Big news this morning. Of course, we'll get to the big news yesterday as well. People were really excited about that. But first, quickly, one that Nebraska didn't win here, and Caleb Pyfrom committing to Illinois. Nebraska had done such a good job at locking the borders, getting a lot of people in state. Does this hurt that sentiment at all?
Well, obviously, Nebraska as a team that was clearly interested in Caleb Pyfrom. I think it's always great that, I talked to Caleb about this the other night. I think it's amazing when guys get a chance to go on and continue to pursue their dreams, and whether it's in Lincoln or it's someplace else. And he's 100% happy with what's happening with him. He agreed with what we were talking about. I think Nebraska, honestly, it got to a point where I think Nebraska is really sitting on 3 interior offensive linemen with Pyle and Peters and Davison. And they're really looking more truly for, some offensive tackles. I think that in their eyes, when they saw Pyfrom, they didn't see a Big Ten offensive tackle. They see more a guy with Pyfrom as a guy that was going to play interior. And unfortunately for that, I think that they had kind of just been hitting against that number. But I think that this demonstrates, that you really have to kind of want to step up and grab that spot when it's available if you want it, or if you choose to kind of go out there and continue to try to, look around and evaluate, there is an ability to lose it. I mean, look at who Nebraska offered, through the summer camp process. Pyle was a guy that was offered very early on in the year, committed, earlier on, like in April. But then he picked up Jake Peters, and Landon Davidson. Those are guys that came in during summer camp time. So, I mean, we knew about Davidson, even before that too, but Jake Peters was pretty much off the radar. But they're both excellent players, both very much interior offensive linemen as well. I just think that now that where things kind of sat at, it was more like we've got our three guys in the interior. They need to hope that they maybe get like a Caden Massey tonight, a Grant Bricks eventually, a Naku Mafi who's coming in September, or Samisi Tonga, who's also coming in September with him. So I think that there's kind of a point here where Nebraska's hitting up against some limits, when it comes to their class.
We're speaking with Brian Munson on 3 Husker Online. And Brian, as Bach was mentioning, some big news coming out of tiny Ainsworth, Nebraska yesterday with Carter Nelson committing to Nebraska. How big is getting Carter Nelson to stay with Nebraska after, losing Dylan Raiola to Georgia and seeing Carter go down to Georgia, visit with Dylan, and go to Notre Dame and all these other places, get these offers. Nick Saban's in town for a state track meet and fighting off all of those schools for the 8-man tight end, quarterback, receiver, do-it-all guy.
It's huge for all the reasons that you just mentioned. It shows that Nebraska won out. I think it's also even more than just the comparison's sake and who Nebraska beat. It's another in-state guy that's deciding to stay home. I wrote my 3 and out on Tuesday night, and I had a section of 2025 players. The 2 guys that are already committed in the 2025 class are 2 of the 3 guys that Nebraska's already offered for in-state players next year with Vermoss and Terry. So I think what you're seeing here a little bit is you're going to start to see these kind of a little bit more accelerated, hopefully in-state commitments, guys that Nebraska just simply needs to get in the class, the guys that are from the state of Nebraska. And I think that obviously with Nelson, you get a different player. I mean, this is a truly great athlete. I think that people would honestly, probably if they want to compare his sophomore track times and jumps and all sorts of stuff to how he did as a junior, this is still a guy that's a little dinged up from that ankle injury. I think that's very clear. But I mean, he's also a guy that's in the pictures that he showed from his official visit weekend. This guy is incredibly cut. He's in fantastic shape right now. And he's actually heavier than what he was when I saw him in February. He's 220 pounds right now. So this is a very significant get. I think Nebraska understands how great he is athletically, what he could mean to that offense, but they also know what he is, and that is that he's not an inline guy. He's not a put his hand in the dirt guy yet, but he is certainly, that guy that they can put out there and run him in a slot and have all these incredible mismatches with him, kind of as that flex style tight end, and you also have that ability to slide him out and maybe play more of a jumbo X. I mean, which is really what he did at Ainsworth, more than just kind of even the hybrid flex style Y. I mean, so he has some things I think that Coach Satterfield and Coach Rule and even Coach McGuire are going to sit down and talk about, how he fits when it comes to, field position, how he fits when, to get great mismatches, how he can kind of open things up for even other guys that are on the roster. This is really one of those guys that Nebraska had to get. I credit here again Daniel Kalen. I think Daniel Kalen played a significant role in making sure that they kept Carter Nelson home. So big get for Matt Rule, big get for Daniel Kalen.
And you just mentioned him, Daniel Kalen. That was going to be my next question: is how big of a peer recruiter has he been with not only Carter Nelson, but with his wide receiver duo and Davon Hall and Isaiah McMorrison, just having him go to the Elite 11 camp, be named a finalist, and everything that he's been doing, getting out there, having your quarterback in the class and doing the peer recruiting. How massive has he been?
Huge. I don't think we I know I wasn't planning on us, having these conversations about this, a month later, but I also felt like he was the kind of guy that was going to surprise some people at Elite 11. He has an incredible mentality when it comes to playing the position, but I think that there's also a guy that, is committed to an SEC neighbors border school, and understood the value of being an in-state kid, jumping under the class. And I think that that's kind of the flag that he has picked up and he continues to carry. And I think that that's a guy that they can still kind of count on, even after he gets to Lincoln and he's a player and they need a guy to kind of help out with hosting some people. I think that that's a guy that they can really depend on. He understands the value of it. He understands the being born there, being born into being a Nebraska Cornhusker fan, being from the state of Nebraska, how important that is, and following that dream. So I think Daniel Kaelin really deserves a lot of credit for how things have kind of come together in the month of June.
And I saw him in one of his latest tweets too, maybe helping or helping to promote Caden Massey's announcement tonight. 6'8", number one ranked player out of Kansas, according to plenty of recruiting services. What's Nebraska's shot there? I know Kansas State's pretty high on his board, and they've got a lot of momentum in that program. Do you think Nebraska's got a shot tonight with the behemoth, probably an outside a tackle, like you were saying, maybe one of the outside offensive linemen they'll be looking for?
Yeah, Caden is playing this thing very, very close to the vest. He is tough to get a read on. I mean, yesterday night, actually even in the evening by about 5:30 or so, I don't think any recruiting service had any predictions in for him at all. In fact, I was getting pressure to comment and give some takes on, whether or not Nebraska really was the front runner, because there were a lot of K-State publishers that were kind of shaking in their boots a little bit. They all kind of felt like he was headed to Nebraska. I have not felt that way. I have felt like Kansas State has been, the front runner for him for a while. I felt like the Nebraska official visit moved the needle somewhat, but I always kind of felt like he was going to be very difficult to get out of the state. And I didn't know if it was going to be to Kansas State or Kansas. I think Nebraska comes in second, and I think OU is a very close third. I just feel like that this is a guy that's going to end up staying home. He's going to go to Manhattan, and he'll be a Wildcat. And unfortunately for Nebraska, that does stink a little bit, because he's really one of two remaining offensive tackles, I think, that are out there. Grant Brick's another. So I think the one thing that is important that you need to take a look at, you need to go back and look at how the composition now of Kansas State's class and understand that there is some relationship here now that you need to kind of like the factors that are at play. Either Grant Bricks is an interior offensive lineman or he's an offensive tackle, but both guys, are being considered by Kansas State. Kansas State's very high on the board for both of those guys. So you need to kind of go back and figure out, I think that Massey would make the third offensive tackle into the class for Kansas State. Does that mean then that there's enough room to grab Grant Bricks, or does Grant Bricks now no longer have a home in the Kansas State class? So it's kind of interesting. And I actually to kind of drop this here a little bit, I did put in a prediction for Grant Bricks to Nebraska today.
Oh, okay.
So I'm feeling a little bit more optimistic based on a couple of things that happened in the last 12, 24 hours.
Okay, so maybe that's the next name to look out for. We know you're very busy. We've probably taken up more of your time than you wanted, but we're selfish and we love you, Brian. So thanks for joining us once again, Brian Munson, Husker Online and On3. We enjoy it every week.
Have a safe 4th, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, you too. Sounds good. All right, there goes Brian Munson of Husker Online in On 3. Nice little nugget there at the end, and we'll continue. You know, it was nice back when, like, the top player in Kansas, it was just kind of obvious. You go to Nebraska. You know,
yeah, you
that's
were like,
the best
all right.
area school.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, best player in Kansas, come on up. You're not going to Kansas State or Kansas.
Yeah, why would
and now it's like, okay, well, Kansas State's really good. Kansas is on the up and up. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but Nebraska fighting for it. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. It's always interesting in the world of recruiting.
Omar Hales did just tweet out the fireworks.
Oh,
I don't know what it means.
Interesting.
Well, I know what it means. I just don't know who it means.
It means somebody. So we'll track that as well. All right, we'll take a quick break here on the Ticket Water Cooler, and we'll be back with the crossover. Nick Sander coming in studio. Coming up next here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey guys, Jake Sorensen here from Early Break. The garage door at our house has been needing replacement for a couple years, and a few months ago, we finally did something about it. Steve's Garage Doors and Services was great through the whole process in providing options and also going to the next level to get a door that was approved by our HOA. And best of all, the removal of the old door and installation of the new door was done smoothly with no issues. Call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today at 402-480-9462.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has jobs available and great benefits. Plus medical and prescription costs, very low premiums. Insurance are offered at no premium cost with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, listen up. Select Plumbing. The first time on a variety of issues with business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backfixing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call the free estimate at 402-560-6190. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Generation V.
Opening a new location at 27th and Superior.
Generation V.
Join us this Saturday during our grand opening sale. Everything is buy one, get one free. Mix and match between Vape, Delta 8, and Kratom, or buy two of your favorites for the price of one. Buy one Elf Bar disposable, get one free. Buy premium THCA flower, get a free glass pipe. You decide what to BOGO this Saturday.
Generation V.
Don't miss the grand opening sale this Saturday at 27th and Superior in Lincoln. GenerationV.com. E-cig contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Jobs for more information. Sandhills is still hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation,
and leading-edge technologies.
Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. And you can check out our spaces before you visit in person with a virtual campus tour. An opportunity to see our campuses in Beatrice, Lincoln, and Milford as you learn about our programs and areas of study. There are virtual tours of our learning centers too. We can even take you on a personalized virtual tour. Learn more on our website, southie.edu/visit CC. To possible.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club or space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? No, forget that. How about a margarita club? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge and join the best club in town. 10 flavors of margaritas like Maui Wowie, burnt pineapple, and mango tango. Try all 10 of them and receive your own souvenir margarita glass. Make it your new Monday night tradition. $4 margaritas and $4 taco baskets. Grab the crew and head on over. Monday nights or any night. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Back to the Ticket Water Cooler on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back here on the Ticket Water Cooler. Nick and Enrico are fighting over maybe volume there. But, oh, you're going to blow out his ears. In typical June 2023 fashion, we went through a commercial break, and we come back. There's a new Husker commit. Rio, you got the information on the latest Husker commit.
Yes, Carlin Jones of Bay City, Texas, a defensive lineman, 6'3", 270, a 3-star coming out of Texas, joins Nebraska. That's it. That's all I got on Carlin Jones.
Can you look at his other offers? I'm
interested
at this point.
Can I look at his other offers?
Yeah.
Of course I can.
I don't know why, but I'm intrigued to see, some of the offers.
Do we love
people get bothered by?
Okay, tell me when you hear another good defensive line school. Cal, Georgia Tech, Oklahoma State, TCU.
They won. They're not won. They were in the national championship last night.
UTSA.
No.
Boston College. Arizona State. Houston.
Okay.
Kansas.
Hey, these are good offers.
Louisiana.
Okay, so
Maryland, Minnesota, Northwestern, Oregon State, Texas Tech, Utah. It's a good one.
Wyoming.
I was going Power 5 after.
Okay, so here's the thing. Power 5 offers, lots of them in there, right? Lots of them, good choices.
Not a diamond in the rough. I don't think he's a diamond in the rough.
No, he isn't.
More offers than maybe some of the guys that they have gotten committed over the last couple weeks, over the last couple days. So I don't know. I think once again we're gonna say it with every single commit over, unless it's like a Carter Nelson or Daniel Kalen. The staff is trusting their evaluation over what anybody else thinks. But obviously, there must have been a good slate of schools there that Carlin Jones was hearing from. So I don't know. I mean, they need depth on the offensive and defensive line. They do that with Carlin Jones. We find out about Caden Massey tonight. So we'll see kind of what the future holds for Nebraska.
I had to make sure that I wanted to get his name right because I was like, Bay City. They have somebody from Bay City on the roster already. Bryce Turner, the wide receiver athlete who committed last year, who will be or is on campus, is from Bay City, Texas.
Yeah, I was gonna say that did sound a little
same
bit
high
familiar.
school, Bay City.
Oh, good.
The speedster.
Texas, another one.
Well, I don't think Carlin Jones is a speedster.
Make 4th of July truly monumental.
Yeah, just leave those down. Just leave those down.
Yeah. Shout out to 4th of July. Another Texas guy, though. I mean, here we are again. Another Texas recruit. I know you have it pulled up there, Rico. How many do they have from the state of Texas?
In this class or in both classes?
In this text.
In this one.
Class.
1, 2.
It should say on the side.
3. Nope, I'm going to count them. 4, 5. 6.
Why would we look at the side where it says Texas?
Nope.
But guys, they're not playing any games in Texas. How can they recruit Texas?
They have 7 because they don't have him on here yet.
Does that match up?
Well, no, it says 6.
Okay, good.
Because they don't have him on. They don't have him on
fine.
here.
I just wanted to double check.
Good thing you counted.
See,
Good thing you counted, yeah.
Who would have known if I didn't count?
But, I mean, it's good. Carlin Jones, I think he's listed 6'3", 285. We said so.
270.
270.
Technically 6'2" and like a half is what it says, but we're just gonna go to 6'2".
I like 6'2" and a half better, actually.
On his bio, it says 6'3", 285. So no,
yeah, but
I mean,
who goes by those?
So I don't know, but no, it's a good pickup for Nebraska. When you look at offers, a guy that's visited campus, and now that's 22 commits.
Yeah.
Yes.
For this 2024 class, where do we think that this is going to finish up at? I mean, a lot of times you see the 25 range, which if that's the case, and Nebraska gets a Caden Massey tonight, or they kind of get 25 recruits by the end of, or halfway through July, even for that matter, we could be kind of looking at this is the class that Nebraska has, and a pretty non-drama signing day.
Would you just be done if you get to 25?
You focus on the 2025 class.
If you get to 25 before the season starts, you're just going to keep in contact with them. Obviously, they're probably going to keep in contact with other guys just in case somebody swoops in and snatches one of their commits away. But are you just feeling good about 25? You're not going to go any higher. You're not going to.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you kind of protect yourself in case somebody decommits. I mean, that still happens.
Because you don't want to just not talk to anybody and then you have like 3 decommitments. And you're like, crap.
But the other thing is too, and again, I mean, this was the year one thing was the oversigning, flipping the program, whatever. I don't know if that's going away. It doesn't seem to be, and I don't know if that's a bad. There's different ways to look at it, but especially when your program's not settled, you're not where you want to be. In fact, you're at the very beginning of it. Maybe it's not a bad idea. Again, I don't know if you're, morally, every college football fan that likes the traditional college football scholarship offers and chances and opportunities for, all that stuff. It's not, but it is kind of new age of college football. SEC's been doing it for years. So maybe this is, again, Brian Munson just said, Matt Rule said this is not a long-term idea. It was a kind of a year one thing, but maybe they've shifted the attitude on that, or maybe they just seen enough kids that they had, loved so much. They're just saying, okay, well, that changes our mind. We want these guys.
So Carlin Jones officially visited Nebraska during the June 2nd weekend. Since then, he officially visited TCU, Oklahoma State, California, and Georgia Tech. Now, as a junior, here are Carlin Jones' stats. As a junior playing up at all positions of the Bay City defensive line, he racked up 102 tackles, 29 tackles for loss, and 13 sacks.
He had 102 as a defensive lineman?
Guy playing all four on the front.
Well, I know, but defensive line.
Yeah, defensive line. 102 tackles, 29 tackles for loss, and 13 sacks.
That's a lot of tackles for a defensive lineman.
He spoke all that stuff.
He spoke to Inside Nebraska and said, quote, it clicked for him when he was visiting Georgia Tech last weekend that he wanted to come to Nebraska, because he said, I asked Georgia Tech players who held high-level offers when they were recruits and said, why did you choose Georgia Tech when you could have went to a team that was already winning? And they said that they wanted to be part of the turnaround at Georgia Tech. So Carlin Jones said they already had he says something along the lines of, Nebraska has not been winning as much as they should be, so I feel like I have an opportunity to be the man on campus and help change the program around, be a part of the change. That's my goal. So there you go.
That's been a big recruiting push this year. Is
Why don't you
we're
help us
not
get
good.
better?
You guys could be the difference.
Yeah, that's a great way to market yourself. Hey, we suck. Do you want to help us get better?
Yeah. It makes it sound like there's playing time available. Make you feel important.
You're not as a staff. You're not sugarcoating the fact that you went 4-8.
Yeah.
I mean,
it makes you feel as if
trying to tell some guy that watched Nebraska on ESPN.
We were close.
We were really good last year. We just missed a few. We were just missing out on a few plays.
We were 4 plays from a winning record.
It is interesting, and I don't think that the recruiting approach, and it changes from coach to coach, but I always felt, obviously Scott Frost and Mike Riley both failed either way here. But I always felt Mike Riley kind of had the push of like, hey, you can be the guy that changes the program, similar to this. Scott Frost was kind of like, we're going to do this one way or the other, and we can plug you in here.
What's so interesting, like you look at the recruiting classes of Mike Riley. I'd put Mike Riley and Scott Frost in a similar spot.
in terms of talent that they were recruiting, because they were going after some bigger fish in the sea. And now maybe with Matt Rule here in year one, you don't see that as much. Year two of his recruiting class, but you don't see that as much because I don't know. Like I think back to that Mike Riley time, and they were going after and really trying to sway Micah Parsons, and they were trying to sway the top 100 recruits of like Chase Williams, who ended up going to USC, and Buki Radley Hiles, who ended up being a 5-star, and even though his college career didn't pan out as well. And obviously Scott Frost, he got the commitments of Turner Corcoran and Wandale and all of that. I mean, even the guys that left, you had some bigger fish. But now here in Matt Rule's time so far, in his first lone 2024 class where he's the only one doing it's his staff and only his staff, I should say, you have a group that it's not the most highly coveted guys. It's a lot of very, very solid 3-stars that had some good stats, maybe some diamonds in the rough, like you talked about. Like we think about Eric Fields, had over 130 tackles down in high school in Oklahoma.
We like Eric Fields.
And Nebraska was one of the lone FBS guys to offer Eric Fields last year in the 2023 class. You look at Quinn Clark out of Montana, where Nebraska was the lone FBS offer. You're going to have the haters, I think, that say, oh, well, Nebraska, they're just trying so hard. They're just going in there and
they're reaching.
They're trying to just get guys that don't have offers. It's not impressive, right? But then I think you're also going to have maybe the staff where they're saying we're just going to trust our evaluation and our ability to develop, because guess what? It's not going to take much to be a better staff that develops than the previous couple staffs.
Well, it's not like they didn't go after some big fish either. They have.
Oh, yeah.
And still are, on board with maybe some of those guys, not the favorites for most of them at this point, but it is also worth noting too. And maybe this is just because the local flavor and the guys are in Nebraska, but I mentioned this the other day, top 100 players that each of the past couple staffs have got. Mike Riley had 2 of them, Tyjon Lindsey and Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Coach Frost was able to get Fedoni, Turner Corcoran, Wandale. So that's 3. Before Matt Rule's coached the game, he's got Malachi Coleman and now Carter Nelson. So doing all right in that area too. Although we're you can easily get focused on diamonds in the rough that he's going after, because he's going after a bigger, a larger swath of those guys than maybe previous staffs. But he's also getting some.
You got to mix it in there especially with how Nebraska has been the previous few seasons. You're not going to be able to, you can take your swings at all of the top 100 recruits that you want, but based on how your seasons have gone, and I know it's not him and they were different staffs, but based on how things have gone, those top 100 recruits are going to say, well, why am I going to go to Nebraska and, be the turnaround for a new winning season, a new winning tradition, when I can go to Ohio State and just join a winning tradition and get all that under my belt and, get prepared for the NFL, which is a lot of these kids, most of them probably their ultimate goal is to make it and play professional football. So what Matt Rule is doing right now is they're mixing in a couple higher level guys with a lot of other guys who will be able to plug some of these positions. And if you develop them correctly, maybe they turn into those diamonds in the rough that they're really tooting their own horn at.
Well, so, I mean, you want to talk about what the staff has to look forward to, because at the beginning of this segment, we talked about, if they close it out by middle of July or are pretty good, pretty close to being done, they're always going to leave a couple spots open for, whether that's transfer portal guys, whether that's late guys to the party that want to be a part of this class, whatever it may be. So when you look, though, if they're able to get a good chunk of their recruiting done here prior to the season starting, I think we're going to start seeing, and we've already seen it with guys getting offered from like the 2026 class, the 2027 class. They're going to really be able to start ramping up on their future year recruiting, right? Because once again, guys, we talk about the talent in the state of Nebraska. For the second year in a row next year, you're going to have a top 70 player in the country in Christian Jones, the West Side linebacker. So he's got 15 offers, and guess what? You're going to have to fight off Notre Dame. You're going to have to fight off Oklahoma, Wisconsin, all of these schools that you had to fight off once again for Carter Nelson, for other in the state of Nebraska. You're going to have to one more time next year if you want to get the top player in the state and really secure these borders. And so you're going to have to be able to just get right back on it and saddle up and ride it, I guess, if you want to continue to lock down Nebraska.
If you want to be great You got to keep fighting.
There you go.
So did he.
So, I mean, they already got two 2025 commits from Nebraska. It's Caden
Yeah.
Vermas from Millard North and Tyson Terry from Omaha North. So they have 2 of the 4 so far, and 2 of the top 4, I should say. Christian Jones is that number 1, currently rated 61st in the country.
Tell you what, high school football is going to be fun this year, too. Thanks for listening to the Ticket Water Cooler here, sponsored by Guardians of Freedom Air Show, coming to Lincoln's Air Park August 26th and 27th. More details at LincolnAirShow.com. That'll wrap it up for the Ticket Water Cooler. Don't go anywhere. Happy hour coming up next.
Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. They're trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and a today consultation at 5-3 or go to Novotny Nutrition and Wellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior.
Keep your planter. Upgrade your technology with a John Deere Performance Upgrade Kit from Landmark Implement. Choose from ExactEmerge, MaxEmerge 5, or MaxEmerge 5E electric drive row units. Take your planter to the next level. Improve yield potential and profitability without buying new. Get new technology, increased performance, and confidence from your planter that's already in your shed. Contact your local Landmark location to order your John Deere Performance Upgrade Kit and experience the Landmark difference.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to Oak Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at Oak Street Carpet.
Oak Street Carpet.
1732 Oak Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
This is Brian at Midwest Bank, and we've been proudly serving clients in the Lincoln community since 2008, and we're excited to open a second location in January 2024 at 70th and Pioneers Boulevard. Our new branch will provide all the convenient services you're looking for in a bank, along with the friendly staff we're known for. Whether you're starting a business or expanding your business, our team is here for you, your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com, member FDIC.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career, or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one disaster. You change your fate, adventurer. Don't try